So I finally decided to watch Solo Leveling. I have been hearing about this anime for ages now. I think I saw it first in a fan edit while scrolling through Instagram reels and thought, looks nice, and then forgot it ever existed. But then the trailer dropped, and I was like, oh yeah, this anime, I heard about it. But I wanted to wait until all episodes came out, so I can watch more episodes and binge it, instead of stopping 20 minutes of my day to watch one episode and then watch something else again, like I have way better things I can do in that time slot. However, curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to watch it, and I'll let you know what I thought. So my first thought when I started the first episode was, why is my guy fighting an ant? Why the fucking ant so big? We then get introduced to some S-Class. Now I have always liked anime or even TV shows with a ranking system. I don't know why, I just love the idea of starting weak and then grinding your way to the top. I like it way more than those overpowered characters with 1,000 girls instantly. Or, never mind, it's not so bad. But anyway, the power system is a little bit different here. Because apparently the powers with what you are awakened decides your rank and can't be changed. Then we finally meet our main character, who apparently is the weakest hunter. But we get introduced to even someone more important a few minutes later. New waifu. And get introduced to some other characters too, who are probably not that important. We then go in our first dungeon. Now it's just literally like a game, and you can get loot to buy items and get more gear. Simple enough. But they were not kidding when they said this guy is the weakest hunter. Love to my boy Sung. He should have listened to Lee and just searched for another job, but he wasn't there for no reason. No, he was there because his dad is missing, his mom is sick, and wants to send his sister to college. So I respect and understand it. Anyway, they clear the dungeon but don't have enough loot, so they decide to go further. Big mistake, for some at least. So we get to this room with these creepy statues. They didn't think much of it at first, like any TV anime character, while I'm screaming in my room that they need to get the fuck out. Of course they stayed. This is what happened. So that's the end of episode 1, and now we go to episode 2. Now episode 2 continues where we left off, and it basically turns it a cruel fucking game of riddles. Like, these statues, especially this motherfucker, are absolutely diabolical. We also learn why our waifu can't go on higher raids is because she doesn't handle pressure well. I also really starting to like the leader. He is honest and takes the responsibility of being the leader very well. Now this isn't very important, I think, but who does this bitch think she is? Like, why did you even need to say that there was like absolutely no need? All the while our boy carrying the whole team by himself. Now we eventually get to the final riddle, and it's a sacrifice, and of course our guy is the one that's get left behind. And this whole scene was just absolutely brutal. I actually felt sick watching this. Absolute respect to this man. Balls of steel does he have. After this unfair rumble, we see this notification pop up, and that's when we get to episode 3. Now we wake up in the hospital, and 2 men from the Hunters Association surveillance team walk in to catch Sung up and inform him of some other things as well. For one, the leader has a missing arm and is probably gonna have to retire. Also, my poor waifu is traumatized from the previous events, and the statues have disappeared. But that's not the only reason they are here. No. They believe Sung might have had another awakening. Apparently a few hunters have the ability to have another awakening, but it's very rare. Now they do the test, but it seems there has been no change and is still at the same level. But when they leave, we see the notification box is still there. And when his sister walks in, we learn that only Sung can see it. Get this hater of my screen. So now we learn he has quests he has to complete to get rewards. And if he fails to complete them, he will get a, Let's say the belt is not the worst punishment in the world. However, if he completes them, he gets 3 types rewards. He also gets 3 attribute points, and he can upgrade his strength, speed, agility, and other things like that. After a quick backstory on why he became a hunter, motivated by his mother's sickness, he opens up a portal with a key he gained as reward, and we some improvement in his fighting skills. It's small improvement, but we gaining. Then we get faced with a stronger opponent, and that when episode 3 ends. So we are still fighting the wolf, but we see some big improvement. When the wolf figures out he can't beat him, he runs off, but he then later comes back again, with some friends. But Sung easily beats them too. I felt like a proud father watching his son. We also see that he can store and use weapons from his inventory, and he can store other items he gains too. Meanwhile, outside, another gate break has happened, and the monsters have escaped to the real world. And my waifu has been called up, because they are low on hunters, and are in need of healers, but she is clearly not over her trauma yet. After beating some more wolves, Sung finally faces the boss, but even though he is a little outmatched, he still decides to fight boss. After some struggle and an epic fight with beautiful animation, he manages to beat him.
強くなんなきゃいけないんだよ。まだだ。能力値は筋力を中心に鍛え上げた。お前ら、俺がやる。やっぱそれでも俺、少しは強くなったみたいだな。
Now, when Sung comes out of the dungeon, a officer escorts him to the dungeon break, because they are in need of hunters no matter how low the rank. At scene we see my waifu still struggling, and the other hunters are not having the easiest time either. But Sung throws his broken sword at the escaped boss, and his defense was finally broken and they were able to defeat it, and then he just walks away as the gangster he is. And the episode ends with my waifu thinking he saw him. So if I'm correct, Solo Leveling Season 1 will get 12 episodes. That means this video will get 3 parts. Now I also want to talk about what I think of the characters, but since there are very few to talk about now, we will save it for the next one. In the meantime, make sure you keep an eye out for the community tab, since we have to wait 4 weeks for the next video. I'll give you a poll for a video in the meantime. If you're still watching, then you're an absolute G and I love you.